Well, thank you. This is really great. I'm excited to be here, and I just love Local First. My business is also building houses out at the Lakeshore. Cottage Home is the name of the company, and we build vacation homes from Grand Haven to Benton Harbor. We do about 5 or 6 a year. I've been doing that for about 10 years. The last 15 houses we've built have been LEED certified, and just having a ton of fun with that. And a few years ago, as we got more and more into the LEED program and in the building sciences, we were really studying how houses are put together and what keeps them together working well. And we started to acquire certain tools that we'll talk about here. And then we had customers, neighbors coming to us asking if we could fix their house. So that essentially is what started Dwell-Tech Solutions. And as we kind of minded our own business in Holland with just 2 guys just fixing houses, we got a little bit turned on to Grand Rapids and a couple programs that existed here. And I have to say, one of the best decisions we made as a startup company was relocating here in Grand Rapids. It's just been a ton of fun. Don't tell my friends in Holland I said that, but the opportunities here in Grand Rapids have been great. The green community, the sustainability has all worked out extremely well for our business. As a startup, at the beginning of last year, we were 2 people. At the end of the year, we were about 9 people. And we had to move everything, move offices and so forth. And one of the things that made that real easy was to find a community that we could just kind of quick fit in. And we found that with Bazzani Associates there on the corner at Diamond and Wealthy, kind of where Local First is and the Alliance for Sustainability. And as a builder, we could have, of course, built our own space. We could have found a strip mall by the highway or something, or a warehouse facility, and just talking to Guy and getting set up sure made it easy on us. So what is it that Dwell-Tech Solutions does? Essentially, we're just a group of building science geeks that go into houses and try to figure out what's going on. The tools of our trade are this red thing on the side there. It's a blower door. The fan pushes air out of the house, and it pushes that air out and in turn pressurizes the house to a certain degree and sucks air through all the gaps and leaks and so forth. When that air is coming through the walls, through the windows, through the cracks, it shows up on the infrared camera quite brilliantly, and even the walls sort of look like x-rays because of the temperature difference between the outside air and the inside air. After the guys do the entire sort of routine of safety checks for combustible gas and carbon monoxide and gas leaks and all the other stuff that they do, they then analyze the figures from what the air exchanges are, put together a report in sort of a prioritized recommendations of how the house can perform and so forth. I guess the next question is just why Dwell-Tech? And one of the things I'm struggling with is I left my notes at my office. So I got it on the computer. But basically, why Dwell-Tech is sort of the question. And why would a home energy assessment or improvement be helpful to homeowners? Essentially, we can find lots of ways that you can save energy, the house can be safer, more comfortable, better air to breathe, and so forth. But I guess the question is, why Dwell-Tech Solutions? Why did we do it at all? And that's a question that we continually talk about, is the why. Why do we exist as a company? It's a tough business. You're going into houses which are very personal to people and finding issues and trying to create a plan of how to fix it. And it's kind of a constant battle with the status quo. People just are comfortable with what they have. they're just, if they had a few extra bucks, they'd rather have granite countertop and not, a high efficiency furnace or more insulation or something like that. But at our company, we believe that this status quo, the way we use energy, is just not an option. I mean, we can't continue to do what we've been doing. We know how to build houses better. One of the questions I have, everybody I assume here has a car. I'd like to do a little poll here as far as miles per gallon. So I'd like everyone that has a car that has better than 10 miles per gallon to raise your hand. Keep them up if you have 15 or better. 20 or better? Yeah, I gotta put mine down. 25, 30, 40, 45? All right. We have somebody that more than 45? Excellent. The point is, everyone knows pretty much what your miles per gallon is on your car. And I suppose if we knew what it was supposed to be, manufacturer's recommendations, whatever, and it was getting half of that efficiency, we probably wouldn't be very satisfied. We'd most likely do something about it. And that's essentially what a home energy assessment is. It's the same sort of diagnostic analysis or test to kind of figure out what your home performance score is. I suppose if I asked how many knew your home performance score, how many hands would go up? And I often wonder if we use more fuel, more energy in our houses than we do our cars. And that's what we're out there trying to fix. We have a couple of great Aquinas grads that work at Dwell-Tech Solutions. I can see Eric already put his head down. I asked Eric how things were going out there one day, and he says, it seems like at times our homeowners are kind of like fish in a fishbowl that have all these leaks in it. And they're swimming around. And I'd like to draw on that analogy a little bit. Often we're told that we can change how we use energy by changing behavior. And I'm looking at this fish, and I don't know what he can do to change his situation right there. I suppose he could push his tail up against one of those holes, maybe squish his head against another one, but you're still, water's leaking out all over the place. And as a young person, soon after I started building houses 25 years ago, I went to this conference, and the guy says, you can hire people, but if you think you can change behavior, if you think you can change employees, the way they are as a person, you've got it all wrong. In fact, there's only 5 ways to change behavior, and that's near-death experience, divorce, religious conversion, lobotomy, and castration. And I found that to almost be true. I haven't tried any of those behavioral change techniques, but of all the people I've hired and had work for me, it's hard to change people. It's just difficult. You can't do it. And I think also, as we look at our local economy, we're leaking just as much in our local economy when we're shipping all those dollars out of the state. I was at the Pierce Cedar Creek Institute Sustainability Conference 2 weeks ago, and one of the economists there said we're losing $20 billion a year of Michigan that we're importing energy. And obviously we're using some of that energy for building stuff. But I want to put this dump truck up there. In a sense, 30% of our 20 billion of imported energy is just on residents. So if we could all save a bit on heating the house, we would have that many more dollars in our local economy. The idea is to basically stop the leaks. stop the leaks in the house. Can't change behavior, you might as well concentrate on the thermal envelope. We call that energy enhanced air in your house. You're spending money air conditioning it, you're spending money heating it. Let's just keep it in the house longer. In turn, you'll have smaller bills, you'll be able to keep that money in the local economy, and we will all be better off. So what is it that we believe? We believe that houses can simply live better, that they can be more comfortable, more energy efficient, and we believe they shouldn't stay where they are, that they can be improved. We believe that the status quo is not an option. One of the things that we found to be very important as a small startup was that we had to bring people on board that believe the same thing we do. So what do we do as a team? What's our most important goal? To stay sustainable in Grand Rapids. As far as a business goes, there's all kinds of things we should do and we are doing, but the most important thing for us to stay in business is to find people, customers, employees, so forth, that basically believe what we do at Dwell-Tech. We believe that we can try to divert as much of that money out of that dump truck and keep it here in the local economy. So that's all I had. Thanks.